Today we are going to solve O-Level Physics Paper Code 5054, Paper 1 Variant 1, October-November 2020 and questions from 31 to 40. Question 31. Where does sound travel the fastest? Option A in a vacuum, B in gases, C in liquid, D in solids. Sound waves are mechanical waves, and for propagation of mechanical waves a material medium is required. So sound waves cannot travel in vacuum. So A is not the possible option. Now sound travel fastest in solid and slowest in gases. So our correct option will be option D in solids. Question number 32. A bar magnet is placed in a hollow iron cylinder. The diagram shows the magnetic field pattern produced. What is the cause of the field inside the cylinder wall? Here we have a bar magnet and it is an iron cylinder wall. Because of the bar magnet in iron cylinder, magnetic lines of force is induced. Magnetic field is induced. So here we have magnetic induction because of the bar magnet. Now we check the options. Option A, electromagnetic generation. Option B, electromagnetic induction. Option C, electrostatic induction. Option D, magnetic induction. For electromagnetic generation, we rotate a metallic coil inside a magnetic field. So A is not the possible option. For option B, for electromagnetic induction, either we have to vary the magnetic field or we have to move the coil, we have to move the conductor. So B is also not the possible option. C, electrostatic induction. For electrostatic induction, there should be electric field. But here we don't have electric field, we have magnetic field, we have magnetic bar. So C is also not the possible option. The correct option is magnetic induction. Here because of the magnetic bar, magnetic induction or magnetic lines of force is produced in iron cylinder. So here correct option will be option D. Question number 33. A polythene rod is brought near to a stream of water from a metal tap which is earthen. Tap water is an electrical conductor. The water moves towards the rod as shown. Here it is given tap water. This tap water is an electrical conductor. And this electrical conductor is attracted towards the polythene rod. If it is attracted towards the polythene rod, it means both flow of water and polythene rods are charged and they are oppositively charged. If they have same charges, then it will not be attracted, it will be repelled. Since this flow of water is attracted toward the polythene rod, so both the rod and flow of water are electrically charged and they have opposite charges. Now we check the option which description of the rod and water is correct. In the first column, rod is given, in the second column, water is given, and for option A, it is given for the rod, it is charged, and for water, it is also given charge. So definitely our correct option will be option A, both will be charged and it should be oppositively charged. So here our correct option will be option A. Question number 34. A small negative charge is placed at a point where an electric field is vertically upwards. There is a force on the charge due to the field. In which direction does it act? Option A, vertically upward. Option B, vertically downward. Option C, horizontally to the right. Option D, horizontally to the left. Here it is given electric field is vertically upward. Electrical field or electric field vertically upward means positive charge is at the bottom and negative charge is at the top. It is positive charge, it is negative charge. Lines of force start from positive charge and it moves towards the negative charge. Here it is given electric field is vertically upward means here lines of force is coming from bottom to the top, or we can say lines of force is coming from the positive charge and it is moving towards the negatively charged particle. Now electric field is in the upper direction. If we place a negative charge in this electric field, this negative charge will be repelled by this negative charge, and this negative charge will be attracted by this positive charge. So this negative charge will be attracted by this positive charge and it will move in the downward direction. So here it will move vertically downwards. So correct option will be option B. Next question, question number 35. In the circuit shown, the resistance of resistor Y is 4 times greater than the resistance of resistor X. What is the difference Vy minus Vx of the voltages shown on the voltmeters? Here the condition is given, resistance across Y is 4 times resistance across X. So we can write here Ry is equal to 4 times Rx. Now according to Ohm's law, V is equal to IR, keeping the current constant, keeping I constant, we can say voltage and resistance are directly proportional to each other. So we can say that with the increase in resistance, voltage will also be increased in the same proportion, in the same ratio. Here we have noticed that resistance is increased 4 times. So definitely voltage will also be increased 4 times. So here we can say voltage across the resistor Y will be equal to 4 times of the voltage across the resistor X. Now one more thing, here it is given 10 volt. Total voltage supplied by the battery is 10 volt. This 10 volt will be equal to sum of the voltages across the resistor X and across the resistor Y. This 10 volt or total voltage of the battery is equal to Vx plus Vy. Now Vy is given 4 Vx. So in place of Vy we can write 4 Vx. So this expression will become 10 is equal to Vx plus 4 Vx, and by solving this one we will get Vx is equal to 2 volts. Now here total voltage supplied by the battery is 10 volt and voltage across the resistor X it is calculated 2 volt. So voltage across the resistor Y will be equal to 10 minus 2, it will be equal to 8 volts. Now Vy is 8 volt, Vx is 2 volt, and we have to find out Vy minus Vx. So we have to subtract 2 volt from 8 volt, we will get 6 volt. So Vy minus Vx will be equal to 6 volts, that is given in option C. So correct option will be option C. Question number 36. Two identical resistors connected in parallel have a total resistance of 4 ohm. What is the total resistance when the same two resistors are connected in series? Here we have two identical resistors. They are connected in parallel and total resistance is 4 ohm. For parallel combination we have formula 1 over R is equal to 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2, where this R is total resistance and this R1, R2 are the individual resistances. Now here total resistance is 4 ohm and individual resistances are considered as capital R. So the formula will become 1 over 4 is equal to 1 over R plus 1 over R, and by solving this one we will get the value of R, it will be 8 ohm. So each resistance is of 8 ohm. Now these two resistances that are identical are connected in series. For series combination we have formula R is equal to R1 plus R2, where this R is for total resistance and this R1, R2 are the individual resistances. Now here individual resistances are 8 ohm. So here 8 plus 8 it will be equal to 16. So total resistance, total value of R will be 16 ohms. And 16 ohms is given in option D. So correct option, option D. Question number 37. 3 identical lamps and 3 ammeters are connected as shown. Here we have 3 ammeters. These are I1, I2 and I3. The reading on the ammeters are I1, I2 and I3. How are the readings related? Option A, I1 is equal to I2 is equal to I3. Option B, I1 is greater to I2 and I2 is equal to I3. Option C, I1 is greater than I3 and I3 is greater than I2. And in D it is given I1 is greater than I2 and I2 is greater than I3. Here option A is impossible because here it is given all the currents are equal. But here we are looking at this node. This current I is divided into two parts, that is I2 and I3. So A is not the possible option. In B it is given I1 is greater than I2. Yes, definitely I1 will be greater than I2. And the second condition is given I2 is equal to I3. This I2 is equal to I3. Here we are looking, we have one lamp and here we have two lamps. Means here resistance is less, here resistance is more. Since here resistance is less, so here the current will be more, but here the current will be less. So I2 cannot be equal to I3. And here it is given I2 is equal to I3. So this one is also not the possible option. Now in C it is given I1 is greater than I3. Yes, it is correct. I1 will be greater than I3. And I3 is greater than I2. This I3 is greater than I2. No, I3 will be less than I2 because here we have more resistances connected. So here the current will be less. So I3 will be less than I2. And here it is given I3 is more than I2. So this option is also incorrect. Here correct option is option D. I1 is greater than I2. And this I2 is greater than I3. Because here we have only one lamp, we have less resistance, and here we have more resistance. So here the current will be less as compared to current in this circuit. So here I2 will be more and I3 will be less. So correct option will be option D. I1 is greatest and I3 is smallest. I1 is greatest and I3 is smallest. So correct option will be option D. Next question. Question number 38. A thermistor and a light dependent resistor LDR are connected in series. A potential difference of 6 volts is applied across them as shown. The thermistor has a resistance of 6000 ohm in a cold room and 1000 ohm in a warm room. The LDR has a resistance of 2000 ohm in dim light and 500 ohm in bright light. When is the potential difference across the LDR equal to 2 volt? Let us suppose potential difference of voltage across thermistor is V1 and potential difference across LDR is V2. Now here we have to find out the condition when the voltage across the LDR is equal to 2 volts. Now to find out the value of voltage or potential difference across the LDR V2, we will take help of voltage divider rule. That is given as V2 is equal to R2 multiplied by V divided by R, where this V2 is the voltage or potential difference across the LDR. This R2 is the resistance across the LDR, this V is total voltage and this R is total resistance. Now in option A it is given in a cold room with bright light. In a cold room with a bright light, value of V2 will be equal to R2. What is the value of R2? Here it is given bright light. For bright light, value is 500 ohms is given. So value of R2 will be 500. Now this V is total voltage. Total voltage is 6 volts. So here in place of V we will write 6. Now here this R is total resistance. For total resistance, here resistance across the thermistor in cold room is 6000 ohm and resistance across the LDR in bright light is 500. So total resistance will be sum of 6000 and 500. It will be 6500, and by solving this one we will get the voltage across the LDR that is 0.46 volt. Option B, in a cold room with dim light. Now we will find out the voltage across the LDR in a cold room with dim light. In a cold room means resistance across the thermistor is 6000 ohm and dim light means resistance across the LDR is 2000 ohm. So value of V2 will be equal to 2000 multiplied by 6. Here 2000 is the resistance of LDR when the light is dim. With dim light resistance is 2000 ohms. This 6 is total voltage, now divided by total resistance. Here total resistance will be 6000 plus 2000. This 6000 is the resistance of thermistor in a cold room and this 2000 is the resistance across the LDR in dim light. Now by solving this one, we will get the answer 1.5 volt. Now in the same manner, we will also calculate the value of V2. We will calculate the value of potential difference across the LDR in options C and D. And by calculating the voltage in all the options, it is found that voltage across the LDR 2 volt is in option C. So here correct option will be option C. Question number 39. Students calculate the amount of energy used by an electric heater. What is the equation for calculating the energy E in kilowatt hour? Power is given as energy over time, so energy will be equal to power into time. Now electrical power is product of voltage and current. So in place of power we can write current into voltage, and in symbolic representation we can write I multiplied by V multiplied by T, where this I for current in ampere, this V for voltage in volts, and this T is for time in hour. Here we have to find out the energy in kilowatt hour. So here this value, this I multiplied by V multiplied by T, we have to divide by 1000 to convert this from watt hour to kilowatt hour. So energy in kilowatt hour will be equal to I multiplied by V multiplied by T divided by 1000, that is given in option D. So correct option will be option D. Question number 40. An isotope P is radioactive and has a half-life of 7 years. A sample initially contains 0.016 kg of P. After how long will the sample contain 0.002 kg of P? Here it is given half-life of 7 years. Means after 7 years its mass will be half of 0.016 kg. It will be 0.008 kg. After 7 years, it will be 0.008 kg. Now again, after 7 years, it will be from 0.008 to 0.004 kg. Now again, after 7 years, it will be 0.002 kg. It will be half of 0.004 kg. Means here we have 3 half-life. 3 half-life means after 21 years, it will be 0.002 kg. Now 21 years is given in option C, so correct option will be option C. Okay, now we have completed all the questions from paper 1 variant 1 of October-November 2020. Thank you very much.